What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to have a little debate about the Glock 29 SF chambered in 10mm and the Glock 30 SF as well, chambered in 45 ACP. I just want to start by saying I love both firearms and there's a reason why I have them. If I don't like a firearm, I get rid of it. So there's a reason these will never go anywhere in my collection. They're both awesome. Both have been 100% reliable. My Glock 30 only has about 350 rounds through it. Only got it a week and a half ago, but it's ran beautifully. My Glock 29, on the other hand, probably has around 600 or 700 rounds or so. I don't know. I haven't checked my logbook in a long time when it comes to this, but it's been reliable. It's been great. I really enjoy both. I love the power of the 29. So right here, this is an 11+1 setup with this base plate. Don't ask me who makes the base plate. Found on eBay. It's ran flawlessly, and like I said, adds that extra capacity. Very nice, very ergonomic, feels good in the hand. Now, the main complaint I have about both these firearms for everyday carry, not any other type of carry, not carrying in the woods, not carrying at your house, not home defense. My number one complaint of everyday carry, being active, riding a bike, you're taking to the kids to the park, you're playing football, you know, that whole sort of thing. The number one complaint is the weight of these firearms when loaded. Now, you can get Civil Defense Liberty ammo. You can get, Underwoods that I just ordered. So thank you to the recommendation. You know who you are. Thank you for recommending the Extreme Defenders. I ordered them for my Glock 27 and my Glock 30. Anyways, would I carry them? Yes. Do I carry them as much? No. And there's a reason. So first off, let's start with size, because these are the exact same size firearm. But when it comes to capacity, I'll show you with the base plates just to compare that. So you're going to have 11+1 of 10, and then you're going to have 10+1 of 45 ACP. So pretty similar in size when it comes even to the base plates when it is broken down into that by capacity. Now I put night sights on both of them. They're both very ergonomic. I was very surprised when I first got my Glock 29 how ergonomic it was. I like how it's slimmer. That's what the SF is. They made alterations to the grip to make it a little easier for the average hand to hold it, which I like. They're very ergonomic to me, very great shooters. People always complain with these models, though, that they get finger pinching because of the gaps. I haven't experienced that, so it's probably just how my hands sit on these firearms, but that may be something you want to look out for, or maybe, you can alter that by getting different base plates like I did here, and so on. But I did that mainly for capacity and looks. Anyways, both awesome. I do have complaints a little bit when it comes to the weight, but the only other complaint I would have is the recoil and follow-up speed. Now, both of these I can shoot very accurately. The 30 is an absolute pleasure to shoot at the range. I love it. The recoil is so little. This big, thick boy slide, this big, fat, heavy slide up here, handles that recoil perfectly. I would carry the Glock 30 over the 29. And that's because not only do you have a big round, it's going to be a slower round, but that's fine for self-defense in my opinion. 45 ACP is a trusted round, a respected round. Yes, with technology, 9mm, you can go down that whole rabbit hole. But if you're going to carry 45 ACP, the Glock 30 is the way to go. It handles recoil. It's still relatively light compared to other models its size, chambered in 45. And like I said, you're going to have that big round, good stopping power. Having as fast of a follow-up shot, it's going to be faster than the Glock 29 and accurate. I'm not talking hammer groups, I'm talking controlled groups, making sure that you have your sights lined back up before your next shot, not just letting it go, which would be a hammer group. I'm talking controlled groups, and that's simply because of recoil. The recoil on the 20 or on the 30 is so little, it's not even funny. It is so enjoyable to shoot. It honestly feels like you're shooting, a 9mm out of a Glock 26. It is very, very little. Obviously, this is going to be bigger than a Glock 26 and 27. I love the Glock 30. Now, the 29, on the other hand, I have a lot of people who get mad at me when I talk about the 29. In my opinion, yes, if you get your first shot on target, which is always going to be your hardest shot to be on target, your first shot will always be your hardest shot on target. That's because when's the last time you shot? When's the last time you were used to your firearm? Even if you shot a week ago, you're still going to have to get that first shot on target, handle that recoil, and get that next shot on target. And that all depends on when you got your last rounds in, your last practice in, and so on. But the 29's recoil, in my opinion, it's not terrible. It's manageable. But when you see me shoot the 29 in 10mm versus all these other rounds, you notice the power. Now, that power is going to be huge for stopping power. You can have a real fast round with still a decent sized projectile. It's going to do some real damage. Is it going to be a one-shot stop? Not every time. but there's a really good chance. So that is a lot of people's argument. But what happens when you miss that shot? And you miss the next, you know what I mean? It's like your shots are going to probably be twice as slow with a 29 chambered in 10 than it would with a 9mm. And I'm just being real. There's very little recoil in a 9mm, whereas a 29 has a lot of recoil. That's because it's so powerful. But if you do hit with your first shot, chances are you're going to be good. I am not against people carrying a 29 10mm. I just don't think it's the best idea if you're at a mall, if you're in an area with a lot of people and a lot of kids, because every round that comes out of your firearm, you are responsible for. You're going to have to defend yourself regardless of what happens. So you want to make sure you have the best chance at getting your target, meanwhile not hitting anything else. And I just don't think the answer is the 29 and 10mm. Do I love it? Yes. Do I shoot it at the range a lot more than people think? Yes, I do. I enjoy that firearm. I'll enjoy both of these. Now, the 29 is awesome for woods carry. When you're going in, bear country and so on, it's an awesome, awesome firearm. No one around, nothing to worry about if it misses, ricochets, and so on. But for everyday carry, I'm going to have to go with the Glock 30. Now, your opinion probably differs. You're probably going to get in the comments and talk crap and, that whole scenario. That's fine, guys. I'm talking for me. I'm only speaking for me. I have no problem with people carrying the 29. It's an amazing firearm. It's a reliable firearm chambered in 10mm, which is one of the most powerful rounds, and it is has great stopping power. You can't argue that. So that first round is going to be your most important. And I think that as long as you're training, you will be fine. But for me, I would carry the Glock 30 just because that recoil is so little that my follow-up shots are going to be so fast with this thing that I'm going to be fine. Whereas the 29, I'm not as fast. It's just the truth. More recoil means slower follow-up shots. It's just true. As long as you're lining stuff up. A lot of people say, oh, it's not a big deal and they're mag dumping. Well, the problem is you're not checking your sights. I do controlled mag dumps. That means I don't pull that trigger until I'm back on picture with my sights. And that just is what it is. They're both amazing firearms, both great choices. You can't go wrong with either. Once again, guys, these are just from my perspective, my experience with them. Love them both. There's a reason I have both of them, because they're both great firearms. If I could only have one firearm and it was the 29, would I be perfectly fine with it? Yes, I would train, work my butt off, and get really good with it. I'd have no problem carrying this. But because I have other options that I deem better, that's why I carry them. But if this is what you have, nothing wrong with that. You're defending yourself, defending your family, possibly defending innocent other people that might even hate firearms. And you would still be the one willing to get up off your butt, draw your weapon or firearm, and defend them, which is amazing, honorable. So I appreciate everyone who carries, regardless of what your carry choice is. I'm just speaking for me. So guys, thanks for watching. That is a comparison between the Glock 29 and Glock 30, both the SF models. Thanks for watching.